Easter. It's Easter time, my favorite time of the year, because I'm sure all of you who have been with me long enough know I'm addicted to Easter eggs. I like chocolate, but there's something about Easter egg chocolate. I don't know what it is. It's waxy. It's quite awful, but it's delicious. How can you do without it? Anyway, we have a problem. It's that we can't get out to the shops to get Easter eggs, which is a huge problem. But we managed to scrounge some up earlier on before we went into lockdown. So what we're going to do today is another sweet recipe, and that is the Chelsea Buns, and we're going to convert them into Easter egg hot cross Chelsea Buns. We are not big lovers of the shop bought Chelsea hot cross buns because we find them very, very doughy, and to make your own hot cross buns is actually quite a schlep. And you need yeast, which is not available, and you need bread flour, which is not available. So we're going to give you another alternative. Now, I'm going to work through this as quickly as I can because I'm under strict instructions from Shay that he has got a PlayStation date on at 1 o'clock. Okay, so you will all understand that. There you see, hurry up. So this is my Easter bunny. I'm putting it as proof. It's mine, not Shay's. Okay. Let us sanitize our hands. I hope everybody is doing this on a regular basis, even while you are at home. Okay, you don't have to just sanitize when you go out. Right, now you're going to need the following equipment. A bowl, glass or plastic. A 1 cup measure, that is the big cup. You're going to need a 1/2 cup measure, your second one in your set.
Second biggest.
You're going to need a tablespoon, the big spoon. You're going to need a teaspoon, small one, not the tiniest. And you're going to need a 1/4 cup. I should have done that earlier. It would have been the next one in the group. Okay. Now, because we're doing this quickly, or because we don't want the videos to drag on, I have weighed out everything. Your ingredients that you are going to need is going to be 2 cups of cake flour, a little extra flour aside for sprinkling. You are going to need a 1/4 cup of caster sugar. You are going to need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. That enhances the flavor of your flour. You are going to need a teaspoon of cinnamon and a teaspoon of mixed spice. You are going to need raisins, which I have soaked in water. I'll explain why. And you are going to need Easter egg cut-offs. Okay, we've used M&M's, those Easter egg pralines. We've used the marshmallow Easter eggs,
speckled eggs, and M&M's.
Think of it. You need 100 ml of buttermilk or yogurt, and you need 1 egg. Okay, let's get started. I'll tell you the other ingredients later. We're going to sieve it this time. You're going to put your 2 cups of flour in the sieve. Don't worry if it falls out on the side. Now, I did not add previously the baking powder, and the reason is that if you are working with baking powder and you're prepping ahead of the time, you can't go and prep your baking powder and put it in and leave it to stand. It will kill your baking powder, so you have to add it at the very last. 1 tablespoon of baking powder. I'm emphasizing this. It's a tablespoon, not a teaspoon.
Or 3 teaspoons if you don't have a tablespoon.
Good point, Chef. Okay. We're going to put in our salt, and we are going to sieve. Now, hot cross buns always have the cinnamon and all that in the actual pastry or dough of the hot cross bun. This Chelsea bun, which is like the
cinnamon
buns, it doesn't need to have it in because it also makes it very bitter. Now Shay's going to moan at me because I've forgotten my one ingredient and it is in the deep freeze. Please excuse me. I'm back and I'm in big trouble. Okay. Flour and baking powder. You're going to add your 1/4 cup of sugar. Put all your ingredients away. And you are just going to take a fork and stir that all together. Okay. This is basically your scone mixture. Some of you have made this as your savory dish. Joel, I know you are absolutely mad about this dish, or your family is with the savory, the cheese on it. The next, you are going to need 125 grams of butter. If you don't have butter, you can have margarine, okay? And our secret with making any scone or Chelsea bun recipe is to grate the butter in, okay?
Cold butter.
Cold. That's why I did forget it. It was in the deep freeze.
Yeah.
Grate it in. Remember, like with the cheese, you don't go up, down. You go down, lift, down, lift, down, lift. Get it all grated in. Don't be very accurate with your mixture or your measurements with regards to the batter, because if you put too much batter in, you're going to get very, very oily Chelsea buns. Okay, let's get that scraped in quickly.
Very short and crumbly as well.
Yeah, we need lovely, short, rich, crumbly. Butter is a bit expensive at the moment. There's a very good margarine out by Clover called Marbeck's, and it's one of the better ones. The other one which we use, unfortunately, is not available to the public, but you can get it at Macro. It's the Marvello butter spread. Okay, right? Now, fairy fingers and get that margarine or butter mixed into your flour mixture. Remember, fairy fingers, lift it. The reason that you lifting and mixing together at the same time or rubbing in the batter is so that you incorporate the air. Don't go and squeeze the batter mixture and the flour mixture in your hands like this, because you will melt it. You don't want it to melt. Get it rubbed in. Grating also makes it much, much easier to rub it in. If you do have any big pieces, just squash them into the flour. Okay. Doesn't you see what it's looking like? Not the fine breadcrumbs that they often speak about, but you've just got little pieces of batter which gives you that lovely, soft, crispy, flaky crumb. Okay, we've got that done. Now we need just put it aside. I'm trying to work neatly. Okay, we need our buttermilk mixture. Remember, 100 grams, 100 mils of buttermilk, 1 egg. Break it into there and give it a good whisk. Don't use milk. The reason we use buttermilk or yogurt or sour cream or mass is, one, because it gives you a tender crumb. It means your cake at the end of the day is lovely and soft. And two, remember we put in 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and that leaves a slight taste to the scone mixture or the Chelsea bun mixture.
Soapy taste.
A soapy taste, that's what they always call it. Using a sour milk product counteracts that, so you don't get that taste. Well in the middle, pour in, but just leave a little bit, okay? Don't pour all in. You know that flour is affected by the weather, and I don't know what the heat is like in this kitchen yet. Okay, just getting it all mixed in. We want a stiffish dough, and we don't want it too wet. I can feel that this is going to need some more of my mixture. I'm using a fork or a knife. Either one. Okay, just feel it. Must sort of squash together like that. Okay, we're going to put a little bit more. Sorry guys, but your hands are going to get dirty now. For those of you that want to, you can put on gloves. Other ones, if you're happy to work with it as it is, dust your work surface with a little bit of flour. Move all your stuff away. Okay. Now we're going to turn this out onto the floured surface. The rule with scones is you never ever work a scone, okay? The rule with Chelsea buns is that you do work the dough. So get it all mixed together like this. Press it almost as if you're making bread. but we're not going to need it. We're just going to get it together. I would have, as you all know, a heart attack if I saw you doing this with your scone mixture. Get all those loose pieces in.
You think you need to add more liquid, but just give it time.
Don't feel that you want to say, okay, let's add it, because then your mixture is going to be a mess. Okay.
See, it eventually all comes together.
It all comes together. Okay, we're just going to pick up a little bit. Don't overwork it. As I said, it's not bread. It is a Chelsea bun mixture. Now you're going to flour your surface again, because now we need to do something else you don't do with scones, and that is roll it out. Because remember, we only pat out the scone. So we've got our Chelsea bun roll there. Okay, we're going to take the rolling pin. I flour that as well. Get my fingers clean here. Okay, and let's roll this out. Move that. Okay. Roll once, twice, and turn. Once, twice, and turn. One, whoops. Oh dear. Okay. Once, twice, and turn. What we're looking for here, Shay says a square, but I am more inclined to say a rectangle, but let's see what we get. Do not roll this out until it's paper thin. Okay, I'll lift it up so that you see. You see all those lovely, Shay, get a close-up of all those lovely pieces of batter?
See?
Okay, that is what's going to give you
the flakiness.
Yeah, I'm just going to put a little bit more on there, because just now my first one that I made, it's stuck on the counter. Okay, so get it out as best as you can into a rectangle. Don't worry if this is all skew. Okay, that's it. It all gets tucked in.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, right. This sort of thickness, okay, is what you want. Okay, there we go.
See, compared to my finger.
Okay, no thinner than that. Okay. Now starts the fun part, is actually dressing your Chelsea bun mixture. You've taken a little bit of butter, no particular measurement, which you've melted, okay, in the microwave.
Just a knob.
Brush your dough. Don't soak your dough, guys, just brush it gently with the butter. Okay. Now at this stage is when you can choose. Those of you who have had the savory one, what we normally do is we either put basil pesto on here, red pepper pesto, cream cheese, and then we put cheese, and then we roll it up, and then you've got a savory one. Okay, but this is our Easter bunny one. You're going to use about a quarter cup, about half a cup of sugar. If you want less sugar, you can put in, but I want this brown sugar. Okay, molasses sugar. In it, you are going to put your cinnamon and your mixed spice. You're going to mix it together gently. Okay, I'm just going to give my hands a quick wash. Okay. Shay said to me, don't trip over the gas stove thing, and so I trip over the gas stove thing. Okay, sugar, sprinkle quite densely all around, okay, over the edges, in the middle, as much as you can. As I said, if you don't want so much sugar, that's fine. Spread it out, and then most important, pat it down into your dough mixture. If you don't, it's all going to sink or leak out when you bake your Chelsea buns. So pat it down nicely. Okay.
Butter helps it stick.
Yeah. At this stage, what we would normally do is, because it's just raisin Chelsea buns, is we put our raisins on it and leave it at that. So I'm going to do raisins because I love it. We've soaked them previously in hot water just so that they don't burn as quickly in the oven. So soak it, then drain them, sprinkle them over. Okay. Now comes the fun part. and it's up to you guys as to what you are actually going to do here. Etienne is not a fan of it, but tough. We are going to just ladle on all the bad things. These are little praline eggs. Sticking one in the middle.
My one.
Okay. You can put as much as you want to or as little as you want to. The praline eggs and the marshmallows and that are going to melt.
Okay. I know which slice Mom's having.
Oh, okay. That one there. Okay. Hand again and push this down into your dough. Just so that it doesn't fall out. Okay, just give it a push. Your Smarties or your M&Ms and your speckled eggs, they are going to pop and release all their yumminess in the oven. Okay. Now, move my stuff again. We are going to, you're all holding your nose. We're going to spray the
Don't make me sneeze again.
Don't sneeze, yeah. Okay, there we are. Spray it. Okay. Move my stuff away. I'm learning to move all my stuff away. Now we're going to roll it up. We're going to make like a Swiss roll.
Do it from that side so they can see.
So you're going to gently pick it up and you're going to roll it quite tight. Press it down. Maybe somebody can help you. Mom, dad, brother, sister, if you're not too keen on rolling. Press it down. Get that lovely, oh, yum, my favorite. Get it rolled in. I'm pressing, guys, as I'm rolling, okay? You don't need to baste this section or anything, okay? And pull it towards you, okay? Close your end slightly like that, okay? So you've got a lovely roll, okay? See that? Right. Now we are going to cut it. So you've got your tray.
See here.
You can try and get 12 out of here. I'll show you the size just now that they come. But we need to get about 10 if you can. Cut. Give them a little squeeze open like that. And then pop them into and then just press down. Very, very, very gently. Okay. You see the thickness?
It's about two fingers.
About 2 fingers, 2 of my fingers thick. Open them slightly and push down. Okay. If at this stage you got any other Easter eggs or any more raisins or that left, you can put them on top of this, but we are not going to. Okay. Oven has gone on to 180. And you're going to pop these into the oven for exactly 17 minutes. They do not cook for shorter and they do not cook for longer. This is a tried and tested recipe with regards to the timing. 17 minutes is rather an odd time, but it's the way they are. Okay. Looking good. And the last thing you need to do, so we getting out
9, 10,
11. I've got out 12 before if I've made smaller ones.
3, 6, 9, 10. Where do you count 11?
Oh, 3, 6, 9. Whoops. Okay, sorry. What I'm going to do.
She's already eaten one.
Yeah, most probably because I've eaten one. Just give the top a little bit of a batter. You don't have to, it's optional. Okay, and stick them in the oven. Okay, Shay, want to take so that they can all see what it looks like there. Okay?
Perfect.
Right. Now, don't fall over everything. Into the oven. Set the timer. Set 17 minutes. Okay. And then, because this is supposed to be the world of TV, we've got them finished on the messy area. Those were the ones that we baked, and we've only got a few left over. Now, what you can do once these have cooled, you can either just do some icing sugar on top of them, which really looks cool, okay, or you just take icing sugar and mix it with a little bit of lemon juice, okay, so that you can see. Lemon juice is superb because it cuts the sweetness. And then just drizzle it over. It will set because it's just, if you don't have lemons, because we're all working on limited ingredients, water will do fine. And there you are. You've got Easter Chelsea buns. Yum! Shay and I have already had one. That's why there's so few on here.
Or three.
Oh, actually, Etienne had one as well. Okay, I am going to post the recipe on the WhatsApp group, so you've all got the recipe. Give this a try. Tomorrow we're going to do quesadillas, and or quesadillas as everybody calls them. So we will post that one up on the YouTube site. Just remember, the YouTube site is Spectrum Cooks Videos, not Spectrum. Bye.